Hey y'all, Choice here. Thank you so much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Here I want to take a moment and talk about what are some of the things we can do to get our minds back, to kind of like rid ourselves of the conditioning and the indoctrination and the delusion. We're not going to completely rid ourselves of the delusion because this is part of it. This is how we're going to maintain this experience, at least live this experience. But there's so much more. There's so much more that we are not tapping into because we are completely absorbed in the delusion. For real, for real. So, how do we begin getting our minds back? How do we begin to reconnect to our true selves and lift ourselves from some of the stuff that's going on today? That's not necessary for us to grow. Or maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. You know, there's always a greater plan. There's always more than. We don't get everything, so we can't speak on behalf of everything. We're confined to our own narrow point of view, our myopic scope of things. Yeah, that's where we are. It's very narrow, you know. With that said, how do we rise above the deception to some degree so that we can live a life that is full and of, you know, just full of love and thanksgiving and appreciation and fun and laughter and freedom? You know, this is the way to do this thing called life. And somehow we've signed on and subscribed to this other stuff. That is really the deception that we have to do it this way. And let me just say this. There are people that are living their absolute best life, even if they're going through stuff. They've not forfeited their freedom and free will to live as they so choose. They've not given over that. So I said all of that to say, how do we rid ourselves of some of the conditioning and the indoctrination? We have to question. First of all, you have to give yourself a break from the things that are maintaining the status quo. Remember, I told you about a loop. You have to break the cycle. The only way you're going to break the cycle is by moving away that which is keeping you in the cycle. Because once you do that, your natural way, your natural flow will take you downriver. It will take you in the way of the natural flow of things, the way things are supposed to be. That will happen naturally. But you have to get away from that which is keeping you from flowing in that natural state, which is the misinformation, the misguided information, the deception, that this is the way life is when it isn't. Things are changed. Things have already changed. We know this. But if you don't move with the change, you're just going to delay your process. And it's okay. Some people say we come back and we do it all over again. There isn't anything to fear. There isn't anything to really worry about, not unless you choose to live a life of worry, live in a living hell. you know. But you can make your heaven right here on earth. Tap into the heaven within your being. It's with you all day, every day. All day, every day. Your heaven is like right there with you, waiting, not even waiting, just sitting there saying, okay, whenever they're ready to stop engaging in the nonsense and forgive themselves for getting so caught up into it that they completely forgot themselves. But it's all good because you're here having the experience, whatever that may be for you. Life gives life what life needs to progress, to evolve, to ascend, to transcend, to make new. So how do we break ourselves from the conditioning? You have to come away from that which is keeping you conditioned. And that means being still, going out into nature. I mentioned number many times. Allowing yourself to reconnect to your true essence. Some may say come out of the ego. The ego is necessary. It is important to this whole thing called life. You need your ego, but the ego kind of sort of needs to know its place. It's there to serve. Yeah, I'm talking about the ego, so the wind now is like, I don't know if that's, I'm going to take it as a sign of happiness. But anyway, come away from that which is keeping you in that loop I talk about. Okay? Give yourself a little time to reconnect to the essence of your true being and commune with that. Some people do meditation. Meditation comes in all forms. Some people do deep breathing exercises. That comes in all forms. I will just say, if you don't know anything else but to sit still in nature, then just do that. Put your phone down. Put your laptop. Not unless it's something that is helping, you're using as a tool to help you to get to where you need to be, where you can be still with yourself for a while until you sense the something more within. And then once you do that, the things that are in there that are not true, that is not your truth, will rise, will come to the surface to where you can see what it is, where there's a little more clarity, and then you can decipher and discern whether or not the conditions that you confine yourself to are limiting you, your potential, or elevating you, or participating in the elevation of your being. So you take that time and you allow the things that come up to the surface to let you know where you are, to give you some sense of what you have taken on as truth and have anchored as your belief and your system of beliefs, and are using that and living by that as your truth, as your reality. When it's not, it's a smoke screen. It's something to keep you disillusioned. So that's just a quick word. How do you come out of the conditioning? How do you come out of the indoctrination? Be still. Spend some time with yourself. Come away from the things that are keeping you in the loop. You know how we want to be in the loop. We want to be in the know. Okay, those things right now are keeping you delusional. Come out of that, because then your frequency will rise. You'll rise above the madness. You'll rise above the deception. You'll be able to see it clearly, or to some degree, because this is never ending. I heard someone say, oh yeah, the spark of light be the light, and the light brings information. The light may bring information, but I will say it this way. Darkness is the truth, okay? The blackness is the truth. And when you get a spark of light, what it does is give you a little more light to see within the darkness all that's there, okay? The spark of light just lets you see more into the darkness of the truth of what's there. You know, I tell you, everything is twisted. Twisted. You know? And you can be that light, but understand that the light is not it. The darkness is it. The blackness is it. You go into the ether. You may not know what any of those things are in the ether, but it's there. And the only way you would witness any of it is if you got a little light to turn on so you can see. Anyway, just talking. Much love. Thank you so much for tuning in, giving me a little of your mind time. Thank you for supporting my channel. And share. Thumbs up, share. And thank you so much. Choice here. Much love. Namaste.